What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the certifiably suave Dr. Disaster, and it is really gratifying to watch somebody who talks a lot of smack get their comeuppance. Namely, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch BioWare and their defenders have to eat shit as they watch the numbers for Dragon Age the Veilguard get smacked around. BioWare has the advantage of being a renowned and once beloved studio, and Dragon Age has incredible pedigree as a franchise, and yet the sales for that game, for Dragon Age the Veilguard, were extremely underwhelming, considering all of the advantages that it had. You may recall, the other day we covered the fact that the Veilguard was only the 19th best-selling new game in 2024, and it was the 68th best-selling overall game in the year, because of course people are playing old stuff instead of new. Meanwhile, a new challenger is rising up and preparing to embarrass the hell out of games like Dragon Age the Veilguard. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is here.
I will beat your ass like a Cherokee drum.
This game is already tearing it up on Steam. We are just a little over a month removed from this game's release, and already they are boasting 110,000 followers for the game, which is solid as hell. They are on pace to come near the numbers that Space Marine 2 hit, which I'll show you guys in a minute here. And they are already destroying Dragon Age in follower count, because it turns out that people actually want to play games that look like this, where you're just some dude fighting in an ancient European setting, as opposed to games like Dragon Age, where they shove gender ideological nonsense into our faces ad nauseum.
While Tasha's pounding that snake's nose, she's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties, I was so proud. Shit. They're still holding it, sorry.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
So yeah, things are looking really good for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We're going to make some comparisons of its numbers over on Steam to Dragon Age and to Space Marine, and then we're going to take a look at the sales numbers that I'm being fed by my contacts over in the retail world, which indicate that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is on pace to have a comparable release to Warhammer Space Marine 2, and it will blow Dragon Age the Veilguard out of the water, because it turns out the gamers, the ones who will turn out for Kingdom Come, absolutely outnumber in a big way the so-called modern audience, which was BioWare's target audience for Dragon Age. The defenders of Dragon Age were already pissed at the developers of Kingdom Come for making this comparison here a few weeks ago. BioWare and their defenders will not be thrilled to see this comparison that we're going to talk about here today. They're not going to be thrilled at all. Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to refer to it as these days. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster 1. Anyhow, let's dive on into the Kingdom Come Deliverance numbers. We've got a lot of info to share here. For full context, for anyone who didn't know, Daniel Vavra is one of the co-founders of Warhorse Studios, the studio that developed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and the dude is based as hell. When confronted by games journalists about the prospect of featuring diversity in this game series set in ancient Europe, they wanted to see non-white characters, the game journalists did, but the studio trolled them by saying there's already all kinds of diversity in the game, referring to all the different European ethnic groups that are already in the game. And then Daniel Vavra put out this tweet a few weeks back, making the comparison between the original Kingdom Come, which is something like 7 years old, and Dragon Age the Veilguard, which at the time was only a little over a month old. And of course, it's pathetic that Dragon Age is getting beaten by Kingdom Come. The BioWare defenders freaked out and made all kinds of excuses, but none of those excuses change the simple fact that Dragon Age is getting stomped, and it is about to get stomped again. These are the numbers right now for Kingdom Come on Steam. They have got 110,000 followers on Steam, about a month removed from the release of the game. It's likely that they will hit somewhere in the ballpark of 130 or 140,000 by the time the game releases, which will put them not too far from this launch here. These were the numbers for Space Marine 2, just a couple days before that game came out. It was sitting at a little over 160,000. Now compare that to Dragon Age. These were the numbers for Dragon Age the Veilguard about a month removed from that game's release. They had about 62,000 followers, and as you can see here, that game ended up with about 77,000 followers on the day that it launched. In the end, Dragon Age peaked at about 90,000 max concurrent players on Steam when it came out. Space Marine 2, on the other hand, ended up peaking with a whopping 225,000 concurrent players on the platform. Based on the follower count that we're seeing for Kingdom Come, I conservatively estimate that the game will hit a peak of somewhere between 150 and 200,000 players. Whatever the number ends up being, it is clear that it will beat the shit out of Dragon Age, which is sad, considering that the Veilguard had the backing of EA, meaning that the marketing budget was enormous. And as I've said many times, that game has pedigree. The Dragon Age series was once one of the most beloved by gamers all around the world. Kingdom Come is a game from a relatively unknown studio by contrast, and the franchise is practically brand new. They don't have the baked-in audience that BioWare's Dragon Age has, but gamers are categorically rejecting the gender shit from BioWare and embracing games like Kingdom Come because those games are just a good time, and that's all we were always looking for. This bears itself out with the numbers that I'm hearing from my contacts in retail. My first contact is from someone who has access to the data from 9 retail stores that sell video games. This person informed me that when they were a little over a month removed from the release of Dragon Age the Veilguard, they had sold 7 pre-orders for that game in those 9 stores. And for Space Marine 2, they had sold 27 pre-orders for that game about a month removed. For comparison's sake, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has already sold 23 copies. Not quite the numbers of Space Marine, but it's beating the shit out of the Veilguard. And then, I'm also in contact with someone who runs over a dozen retail stores that sell games, and according to their data, when they were just a bit over a month out from the release of Dragon Age, they had sold 12 pre-orders of that game. Space Marine 2, on the other hand, had sold 46 pre-orders, and now they are telling me that Kingdom Come is pretty close to Space Marine pre-orders with 41. My third contact is from someone who runs 17 stores, and in those 17 stores, when they were about a month out from the release of Dragon Age, they had 9 pre-orders for that game in 17 stores. However, Space Marine 2 had 51 pre-orders in that same time frame, but Kingdom Come is right on its heels with 47 pre-orders. And lastly, I have one more contact with someone who has access to the data of 5 retail stores that sell games. In those 5 stores, when they were a month out from the release of Dragon Age, they had only sold 3 pre-orders of that game. Space Marine 2, conversely, had sold 15, and Kingdom Come is currently at 11. So, across the board, these numbers are fairly consistent. Kingdom Come Deliverance is tracking behind Space Marine 2, but there's no shame in that. This is a game, Space Marine 2, that sold over 2 million copies in a matter of days. It was one of the most successful games of the year, and as word of mouth spreads for Kingdom Come, I'd say there is at least a ghost of a chance that they even overtake Space Marine. The thing is, Space Marine 2 obviously benefited from a massive built-in audience, the Warhammer crowd, who are very passionate about that brand. Kingdom Come Deliverance does not have that, but who knows? Gamers are hungry for games that don't preach woke shit. So, as word of mouth spreads on this relative unknown, I think it's fair to suppose there's a chance it will hit the rarefied numbers of Space Marine 2. What's clear, though, is that Warhorse Studios is definitely on pace to become one of the more beloved studios of gamers in the coming years. We just have to cross our fingers that they remain based and don't buckle as they gain more accolades and attention. We don't want them turning into another BioWare. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop your predictions in the comment section below. Will Kingdom Come end up outselling Space Marine? And how bad will it kick the shit out of Dragon Age? Drop those thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.